Welcome to the Transform Your Wedding podcast, a how-to guide for taking your wedding to a whole new level. Here's your host, Marie Kubin from Rent My Wedding.
Hey everyone, today we're talking all about cocktail hour. I'll be chatting with Michelle Gainey, the owner of L'Amiga Events. With nearly 2 decades of experience, Michelle has established her firm as one of the top event planning boutiques in Atlanta. So I can't wait to hear all of Michelle's tips and advice. Hey Michelle, well thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to talk about cocktail hour because it's one of those things that often becomes an afterthought. Couples are so focused on the ceremony and the reception that they forget all about the cocktail hour. So I can't wait to hear your advice about how to be planful about it and make it really fabulous.
Yes, I'm ready to talk all things cocktail hour.
Definitely. So for those who are just starting out with their planning, tell us kind of in general, what is the cocktail hour?
Sure. So cocktail hour is the time in between the ceremony and the reception. The ceremony has happened, you're married, everyone's excited, but you may need some time for pictures or to finish getting the reception space ready. So cocktail hour kind of fills that time in that space in between.
Got it. Now, when it comes to decor, what kind of decor do you recommend for the cocktail hour?
Well, I think the decor, you should keep in mind your guest comfort, where they're going to sit, the venue, what can it hold, as well as, what's functional. But it's definitely an opportunity to have a little fun and to engage your guests with the decor and, before you get to the reception.
Definitely. And if you had to choose a couple of different things, what are your favorite elements of decor for the cocktail hour?
So when I think about the cocktail hour and making it unique and setting it apart a lot, different from the ceremony and the reception, I want to engage our guests. So whether that is the escort card display, the guest book, how can we tell a story with those elements and incorporate the decor with it? Obviously, a great photo moment is important, and then keeping your seating in mind.
Definitely. Now, another thing that can happen is that the cocktail hour kind of just turns into this drag where everyone's waiting around and they just can't wait for the reception to start. So, how do you suggest that people keep their cocktail hour lively and engaging?
Yes, we never want that. We never want your guests sitting around and bored and, just dreading and waiting until the reception happens. So entertainment is a big way to keep your guests having fun and excited for the reception. When you think about the cocktail hour and really your wedding day as a whole, it's a journey. You want to think through the journey you want your guests to take from the ceremony all the way through to the end. So with the music at the cocktail hour, have fun with it. Maybe instead of your DJ or the string quartet who performed at the ceremony, you can have a jazz band. You can have, a singer and a guitarist, country music, like whatever is your interest, and that will kind of change it up, keep the energy going. I think is great for the entertainment. Also, have fun with the food and the beverage at cocktail hour. You can think through interesting food displays or ways that they're being passed. You want just enough food to, make people not be hungry, but, not too much so that they're still hungry at the reception. And then cocktails, doing specialty cocktails, inventive cocktails, you know, you could do a champagne tower, you can have cocktails pass, do specialty bars, but the food and beverage is definitely an opportunity to have fun and keep your guests engaged and excited during that time.
Definitely. And what about the guest book and the escort cards? Are you incorporating those into the cocktail hour, or do you wait for the reception?
No, it's a great chance during cocktail hour when people are standing around and looking for things to do. The escort card displays and the guest book don't have to be boring. They don't have to just be tinted cards on a table, and a book with lines. We really try to tell our client's story and showcase their personality through those elements. So we, for instance, had a couple who met on a golf course, and so we created an escort card display using golf balls and on a putting green. We for the guest book, instead of just a standard book, we've done anniversary wine bottles. So, there are 5 different bottles of wine that the guests can sign. And then the couple opens every 5th year that they've been married, and they can remember the guests that were there to celebrate with them. We've had couples who love music and they're signing records, or just fun elements like Mad Libs, guest book Mad Libs, where your guests are filling in fun little sayings and quotes. Anything that's going to be out of the ordinary, but also be personalized and customized to our couples and their personality and their story is what we love to do.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love those ideas, especially because, you have to have a guest book, you need to have escort cards. So why not just use that as an opportunity to have some fun and get something for people to do during the cocktail hour?
Yes.
And I know we were chatting before the show, you mentioned too that it's a great opportunity to do photo ops. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Right. So everybody is dressed to the nines. You may have family and friends that haven't seen each other in years, or they just want that great photo for Instagram. But we always try to incorporate some sort of photo moment. And whether it's a photo backdrop that people can take selfies with, or a photo booth where they can get a printed copy or something emailed to them, or we've even had caricature artists drawing our guests to leave with a favor that is, something special and out of the ordinary. But everyone loves a good photo moment. So we definitely incorporate those into our cocktail hour.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I agree. I think that's the time when people, they've just gotten all dressed up, they're ready to take that picture. So giving them a great backdrop or a great way to do it is such a great idea. And I like too that you're mentioning the photo booth, because a lot of times you see that just at the reception, but you could actually just move that up, have the photo booth available at the cocktail hour. And again, it's giving people something to do. They're engaged, they're entertained. And not to mention, they get that nice keepsake where they can take home the photo strip or post it on social media.
Definitely.
Awesome. So what other advice do you have just in general about cocktail hours or wedding planning tips?
So we're really big on the guest experience. We think through, the guest comfort. Are they going to be hot? Are they going to be cold? Are they hungry? Do their feet hurt? Does grandma have a place to sit? You don't want your guests to get so uncomfortable, and by the time that they get to the reception, like the energy has just gone down. We want to really think about, really creating a space that is just as important as any other element of the wedding, so that people are making memories and they're eating, they're drinking, they're having a good time, and they're looking forward to continuing the night and going into the reception, but no one's dreading it. So just keep that in mind when you're planning your cocktail hour.
Definitely. Now, actually, does the time frame play into that at all? Is there a certain length of time that you should keep in mind for a cocktail hour and to make sure that it doesn't drag on?
Yeah, so typically a cocktail hour is 45 minutes to an hour. And that time is typically used for the wedding party to take their photos and for us to finish getting the reception together. So whether it's doing a room flip or moving decor, cocktail hour is that time that all that is happening behind the scenes while your guests are enjoying cocktail hour. So we keep that in mind when we're setting the cocktail hour time. If we need more time for photos, or if we have a more extensive room flip, it may be that cocktail hour gets extended to an hour and a half. But we keep that in mind when we're thinking about what the food and beverage will be like, how much seating do we have, how much space do we have in the venue, so that people don't feel like it's an hour and a half and they have enough to keep them interested and engaged, so that it doesn't feel like it's dragging on.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. So basically, just using the cocktail hour to cover all the essentials you have to get done behind the scenes, and then make sure you plan for it so that it's fun for that amount of time, whatever you may need for your own wedding.
Yes, definitely.
Awesome. Well, Michelle, tell us more about your company.
So my name's Michelle, and Lamiga Events is my company. We're based in Atlanta, Georgia. We offer full service planning and design for weddings and events. So we really go the whole journey with our clients from beginning to end. And we specialize in taking our clients' story and ordinary details and turning them into glamorous, memorable events, always with a bit of modern Southern hospitality.
Love that. And how can everyone get in touch with you?
You can go to our website, which is lamiga.com, and we're on social media, Instagram and Facebook at Lamiga, and that's Lemiga.
Awesome. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for sharing all of your great insights about the cocktail hour. It was great chatting with you, and thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed all of those tips about cocktail hour. And don't forget, you can catch all of our podcast episodes over at transformyourwedding.com. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.
This podcast is brought to you by Rent My Wedding, your one-stop shop for event rentals. Order online and rentals are delivered right to your door. Shipping is free both ways nationwide. Rent lighting, backdrops, photo booths, and more. With the most 5-star reviews in the industry, Rent My Wedding makes rentals easy and affordable. Book your rentals today at www.rentmywedding.com.